Today there are new and important developments on the front line. The Ukrainian army continues its operations in the Kherson region, has made very important gains in this region. After controlling the bridgehead on the eastern side of the river, the Ukrainian army expanded its area of action in the region and wore down the Russian troops in and around the Krynky region. The Ukrainian army repelled the Russian attacks in this area and ambushed and completely destroyed the strong and large Russian troops that followed. The aggressive defense of the Ukrainian army yielded successful results and the Russians suffered serious losses in the region. Ukrainian forces made significant advances in the Krynky area and continued their operations in the area. Instead of advancing further and carrying out aggressive offensive operations, the Ukrainian army made efforts to strengthen its position in the region and make its defense blocks more solid. The Ukrainian army, which prefers to wear down the Russian forces by repelling Russian attacks in the region, continues to wait in a defensive position. Ukrainian defense blocks destroyed a large number of Russian military personnel and equipment in this region. Although Russian attacks in the direction of Kupiansk continued, Ukrainian defense forces in the region managed to repel the Russian attacks. The Ukrainian army, which prevented 7 Russian attacks in Sinkivka and Petropavlivka regions, continues to strengthen in the region. The Russians also failed in the Liman direction. The Russians, who organized counterattack operations in Nadia and Serebryansky forest areas, failed. There were new developments on the Bakhmut front, another front where intense clashes took place. The Ukrainian army continues to strengthen the defense blocks against the Russian attacks here and deploy troops to the right points in the region. The Russians organized offensive operations near Bohdanivka, Ivanivske, Klitschivka and Andriivka. The Ukrainian army announced that it repelled 10 Russian attacks in this region. The Russians have lost a lot of troops and equipment in the Bakhmut region so far. However, the Russians suffered much more losses in Avdiivka in a shorter period of time. The reason for this was both the well-developed defense strategies of the Ukrainian army and the intense, powerful but irregular attacks of the Russian army. The Russians organized many air and ground operations in Avdiivka. However, they lost many soldiers and equipment in these attacks. In fact, the Russian losses in Avdiivka in October and November reached the number of losses in Bakhmut. With the defense strategies and counterattack operations in Avdiivka, the Ukrainian army left the Russians in a helpless situation in the region. This data was confirmed by the Ukrainian President Zelensky. Volodymyr Zelensky said that Russian losses in Avdiivka continue to increase and that Russia's losses in the Avdiivka region exceeded its losses in Bakhmut. However, Ukrainian forces reported that the Russians continued their counteroffensive operations in Avdiivka. Ukrainian defense forces announced that the Russians carried out counterattack operations in Severne, Tonenke, Boryanev and Pervomainske regions, but these attacks failed. Russian troops carried out 15 counterattack operations in total, but these attacks were prevented by Ukrainian defense forces. Russian attacks in the direction of Marinka also continued, but the Russians did not achieve any success from these attacks. Ukrainian troops reported that they repelled 18 Russian attacks in and around Marinka. Developments in the Zaporizhia region are also very important. The Ukrainian army won a victory over the Russians in this region. The Russians launched more than 25 counterattack operations in the direction of Zaporizhia, but these attacks were repulsed by the Ukrainian defense forces. Andriy Yermak also said that the Ukrainian forces have gained a foothold on the eastern bank of the Dnipro River in southern Ukraine. Andriy Yermak's statements were the first official acknowledgement that Ukrainian troops have established a foothold on the eastern bank of the Dnipro in the Kherson region. Russian troops continue to lose large number of military personnel and equipment on a daily basis, with the number of soldiers lost by Russia during the day totaling 920. Russian troops have lost 313,470 military personnel since the beginning of the war. In addition, 2 Shahed-136 UAVs and 1 Kh-59 guided aviation missile belonging to the Russians were destroyed by the air defense. It seems that Russia's losses will continue to increase as Ukraine's destructive operations continue.